Hey YouTube, Steven here. Come to you today to do a second video. Here sitting in the rain under my tree, feeling very protected in the backyard of my apartment, my little smoking spot. Got my G Vecchio freehand estate pipe, one of my first pipes I ever bought at an antique store. Got in it some Lane Limited Ready Rubbed, and really enjoying that. I got that from Grandpa Cavendish. So it started to rain pretty good, and I thought maybe I was going to have to move inside, but not going to stop smoking this pipe or drinking this coffee. So I'm coming to you today to do a VR for a fella. Actually, it's not just a fella. It seems like it's a team. Papa Chubby, his wife Amber, and their kids. New to YouTube, but got 100 subs and gonna have a lot more than that. Lots of fun to watch. Just real down-to-earth folks, and bring a lot of humor, a lot of sweetness to this YouTube pipe community. And they're doing a 100 subs contest. And first off, I want to mention that I've got plenty of tobacco. It sounds like you're giving away some tobaccos, and I think I'm all right now. So I'm just going to do a VR just to support your channel, and we'll land on my name, pass it on. We'll find someone else that can use that. Actually, I just did a video that Eddie Gray, Haunted Tank 75, just sent me some tobacco, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. Anyway, what we were asked to do is, being that Mother's Day is coming and Women's Day was the other day, we're supposed to talk about our mom. Tell a story, something about our mother or a strong woman in our life. And I've got a pretty good story about my mom, and it actually is about tobacco. So my mom was a stay-at-home mom, homemaker, didn't work outside the house at all. She raised my sister and I, and best she could, and we were kind of poor, and we didn't do a lot of stuff, but we spent a lot of family time, and had a pretty good childhood. And my mom started smoking, actually, as I recall, and she's gone now. I wish I could ask her this, but I recall her telling me she had a little turquoise colored pipe. Back in the day, I guess it was kind of cool for women to have a pipe, and she smoked that some, and she started smoking, I believe, cigarettes at like 14. And unfortunately, it caught up to her, and she died pretty early of lung cancer, which is part of the reason I was a little hesitant to start smoking a pipe, but that's a whole nother video. So anyway, my mom and I shared an instance that I will never forget. I'm not sure anybody else will have this sort of thing, this sort of a bond with their mom, but it's one I'll pass on here. I was a young man working at a lumber company on the straight line rip saw, a bunch of big tough guys, and I was the youngest one there, and took a lot of heckling. It's one of those places that you kind of had to knock your way into, and being that it was a lumber yard, there's sawdust everywhere, and pretty much everyone chewed tobacco. And we had a supplier. We had I think it was a tobacco rep or something, that would bring in cases of Levi Garrett chewing tobacco, the big loose leaf pouch chewing tobacco. And all the old guys tried to get me to try this chewing tobacco. And of course I was interested, because I wanted to be one of the cool guys, But they told so many stories of people turning green and throwing up and all that, and I didn't want to look weak. So I sort of pocketed a pouch of the Levi Garrett, took it home, sat on that thing for probably a week or more. One night I was discussing it with my mom, and her being a smoker, she couldn't say too much about tobacco, I was probably 18, 19 at the time, and telling her that I was kind of interested in trying this, but I didn't want to get sick at work and look like a fool or whatnot. And my mom, who was a pretty short woman, but pretty big woman, if you get my drift. She was a pretty heavy woman, and had a big jolly laugh, and she was very sweet, and she was she was always good for a joke or a laugh. And I don't know to this day if this is where she was going with this, but she said, "You try it, I'll try it." Well, it's my mom. Sure, I trust her. So we get a cup, and we each take a big old plug of this tobacco and dip it into our cheek, and we sit there just having the deepest conversations and sharing this spit cup back and forth. There's something about seeing your mom with a spit cup, you know, and laughing and giggling. And after about half hour, 45 minutes, you know, we kind of had our fill, and she asked me, she said, "Are you done?" And I said, "Yeah." "You done?" "Yeah." And we both spit it out, and that was the end of that. And then a couple of weeks later, I went to work at the lumber yard. I was a pretty seasoned tobacco chewer, and I did it for many, many years. And there is something about being out fishing or hunting outdoors. The spitting in a cup, I just can't do. Not anymore. I did it for years. That cup gets pretty nasty. And so if I'm outdoors, you know, a nice big chaw of tobacco isn't a bad thing. I haven't done it for many, many years. Now, smoking the pipe, I don't really feel a need for it. But something about sharing a big chaw of tobacco with your mom is one of my favorite memories. And I will always cherish that. I wish she was here to talk to her about it. So, anyway, that's my story about my mom. She would have loved the pipe community. I know she would have fit right in here. So, anyway, Papa Chubby, Amber, kids, keep up the videos. We really, really love what you guys are doing. You bring a lot to this community, and we just love you. So, anyway, check you all later.